What's up, everybody? True Seeker here. Today I'm going to be going over a video on Hillary Clinton and her deep ties that she had with the Rothschilds family. A lot of people didn't understand the power and the connection that these people actually have, but everybody already knows how powerful the Rothschilds are. But not too many people understood how much power the Clintons really had. People didn't understand the connections and ties that they actually had with these deep elitist families that are actually embedded into our whole entire world. I mean, we're talking the richest, most elitist, powerfulest people in the world, the ones that actually call the shots when it comes to world wars. These people are the ones that bet on both sides, and this lady is literally friends with these people, almost as if they're besties. And she was about to become our president in 2016. Isn't that a scary thought? Going through the WikiLeaks emails, we find an email where Hillary Clinton is actually begging Lady D. Rothschild for forgiveness after requesting war criminal Tony Blair to accompany her on official business. One of the most infamous and elite families in the world are the Rothschilds, who have been the world's wealthiest family for well over 200 years. Indeed, the most well-known Rothschild patriarch was Mayer Amschel Rothschild, and he once stated, "Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws." The Rothschilds and their international banking cartel, Rothschilds & Co., are majority owners of numerous corporations spanning nearly every industry. They are also co-owners of numerous private banks, including the International Monetary Fund, which essentially functions as a global loan shark with no government or international oversight, as well as many of the world's central banks, which are private entities despite their association with federal governments. Several politicians, especially those who are the most willing to bend over backwards for wealthy interests, have made their careers by catering to the whims of the Rothschilds and other families like them. In U.S. politics today, there is no better example of this archetype than Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton. In fact, less than 2 months ago, Clinton flew just 20 miles in a private jet to attend a private Rothschilds fundraiser in her honor. Yet this is just one of the latest examples of her intimate relationship to the banking dynasty. In emails from her private server made available to the public by WikiLeaks, Clinton's close relationship to Lady D. Rothschild is evident due to their warm exchanges, which include phrases such as, "You are the best," "Sweet dreams," "I remain your loyal, adoring pal," and much love. This is significant as, judging by Clinton's other emails, her communication style is almost always curt and concise, never approaching the outright declaration of affection found only in her exchanges with Lady D. Rothschild. Lady D. Rothschild married into the Rothschilds family in 2000 after being introduced to Sir Evelyn D. Rothschild, who alone is worth $20 billion at the 1998 Bilderberg Conference. War criminal Henry Kissinger served as the couple's matchmaker. Yet the most bizarre interaction between Clinton and Lady D. Rothschild took place in an email titled "Info for You," ID number 1606, which was sent while Clinton was serving as U.S. Secretary of State. In the email, Clinton tells Lady D. Rothschild that she had to ask Tony Blair, then Prime Minister of England, to accompany her to Israel due to the Middle East peace negotiation taking place at the time. Blair had previously planned to spend the weekend in Aspen, Colorado with the Rothschilds at an unspecified conference, but accepted Clinton's invitation. Clinton then says, "I hope you all understand. Let me know what penance I owe you." For those of you who are not familiar with the word, penance is defined as followed: an act of self-mortification or devotion performed voluntarily to show sorrow for a sin or other wrongdoing. Does this sound like something Hillary Clinton would normally say? Considering that her former bodyguard once said she could make Richard Nixon look like Gandhi, this seems doubtful. More importantly, why would someone as powerful as Secretary of State literally grovel for forgiveness from a private citizen? The circumstances is truly bizarre, considering Clinton offers penance or asking the Prime Minister of England to decline an invitation to Rothschild's weekend getaway in order to attend high-stakes peace negotiations. This email clearly shows where the real power is. in politics as well as where Clinton's true loyalty lies. Now, believe me, every single time that I keep looking back and thinking about the 2016 election, I just, it scares me that we was actually that close to having someone like this become our president. Someone that actually had deep ties to people that was already trying to rule the world to begin with. They practically already do rule the world. This would have completed the deal with the United States if she would have become the president. How did anybody ever trust her to begin with? That's what I don't understand. And that tells me that there's a lot of people that don't know anything about politics. There's a lot of people that don't follow government. And there's a lot of people that only listen to what the tube tells them, and that's it. If it's something that came out of CNN or MSNBC's mouth or anything, they're actually going to vote for that person. That's scary. That is really scary. They're going to vote for someone without knowing any single thing about this person. Super scary. And then let's not forget about how many times she's been caught in a lie.
You defended President Obama's immigration policies. Now you say they're too harsh. You supported his trade deal dozens of times. You even called it the gold standard. Now, suddenly last week, you're against it. Will you say anything to get elected?
Well, actually, I have been very consistent over the course of my entire life. I have always fought for the same values and principles.
Do you think New York State should recognize gay marriage?
No.
No. Okay.
I believe that marriage is not just a bond, but a sacred bond between a man and a woman.
I have not supported same-sex marriage. I have supported civil partnerships and contractual relationships.
I support marriage for lesbian and gay couples. I support it personally and as a matter of policy and law.
So you're saying your opinion on gay marriage changed, or you changed your mind?
I have to say, I think you are being very persistent, but you are playing with my words and playing with what is such an important issue.
I'm just trying to clarify so I can understand.
No, I don't think you are trying to clarify. I think you're trying to say that, I used to be opposed and now I'm in favor and I did it for political reasons, and that's just flat wrong. So let me just state what I feel like you are implying and repudiate it. I have a strong record. I have a great commitment to this issue, and I am proud of what I've done and the progress we're making.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just want to clarify what I was saying. No, I was saying that you maybe really believed this all along, but, believed in gay marriage all along, but felt for political reasons America wasn't ready yet and you couldn't say it. That's what I was thinking.
No, that is not true.
It really is great how long you've supported gay marriage.
Yes. I could have supported it sooner.
Well, you did it pretty soon.
Yeah. Could have been sooner.
Fair point.
Just in July, New Hampshire, you told a crowd you, quote, take a backseat to no one when it comes to progressive values.
I take a backseat to no one when you look at my record and standing up and fighting for progressive values.
Last month in Ohio, you said you plead guilty to, quote, being kind of moderate and center. Do you change your political identity based on who you're talking to?
No, I think that, like most people that I know, I have a range of views, but they are rooted in my values and my experience.
I get accused of being kind of moderate and center. I plead guilty.
Just for the record, are you a progressive or are you a moderate?
I'm a progressive.
Going through the emails, there were over 60,000 in total sent and received. About half were work-related and went to the State Department, and about half were personal, that were not in any way related to my work.
When you speak to the public, you say, I turned over everything. That's, for the most part, a direct quote. When you talk to the public, you say, I turned over everything.
90 to 95% of my work-related emails were in the state system. If they wanted to see them, they would certainly have been able to do so.
You know what? That is maybe the 10th time you have cited that figure today.
It is.
And I have not heard anyone other than you ever cite that figure. Who told you that 90 to 95% of your emails were in the State Department system? Who told you that?
We learned that from the State Department in their analysis of the emails that were already on the system.
The Inspector General report found that less than 1% Less than 1% of State Department emails, record emails, were captured. So they give a number of less than 1%, and you give a number of 90%.
I have absolute confidence that everything that could be in any way connected to work is now in the possession of the State Department.
This pile represents the emails that you sent or received about Libya in 2011, from February through December of 2011. This pile represents the emails you sent or received from early 2012 until the day of the attack. There are 795 emails in this pile. We've counted them. There are 67 emails in this pile in 2012. And I'm troubled by what I see here. I can only conclude by your own records that there was a lack of interest in Libya in 2012.
The server contains personal communications from my husband and me.
Only time I got on the internet, I did 2 emails, and I ordered Christmas presents from a reservation. Otherwise, I found people said embarrassing things on emails. I didn't want to be one of them.
I mean, and how many angels dance on the head of a pin? I have really nothing to. I mean, how do you answer that?
I represented Wall Street as a senator from New York, and I went to Wall Street in December of 2007, before the big crash that we had, and I basically said, cut it out. Quit foreclosing on homes. Quit engaging in these kinds of speculative behaviors.
Now, who's exactly to blame for the housing crisis? I think there's plenty of blame to go around. Home buyers who paid extra fees to avoid documenting their income should have known they were getting in over their heads.
Of course, we have to deal with the problem that the banks are still too big to fail. We can never let the American taxpayer and middle-class families ever have to bail out the kind of speculative behavior that we saw. But we also have to worry about some of the other players. AIG, a big insurance company, Lehman Brothers, an investment bank. There's this whole area called shadow banking. That's where the experts tell me the next potential problem could come from. So I'm with both Senator Sanders and Governor O'Malley in putting a lot of attention onto the banks. And the plan that I have put forward would actually empower regulators to break up big banks. I represented New York, and I represented New York on 9/11. When we were attacked, where were we attacked? We were attacked in downtown Manhattan, where Wall Street is. I did spend a whole lot of time and effort helping them rebuild. That was good for New York, it was good for the economy, and it was a way to rebuke the terrorists who had attacked our country.
9/11 was bad.
I agree with that.
Time and time again, you hear one thing in speeches, and then you see a campaign that has the worst kind of tactics, reminiscent of the same sort of Republican attacks on Democrats. Well, I am here to say that it is not only wrong, but it is undermining core democratic principles. Since when do Democrats attack one another on universal health care?
I've looked at the legislation that Senator Sanders has proposed, and basically he does eliminate the Affordable Care Act, eliminates private insurance, eliminates Medicare, eliminates Medicaid, TRICARE, Children's Health Insurance Program.
Just because Senator Obama chose not to present a universal health care plan does not give him the right to attack me because I did. So let's have a real campaign. Enough with the speeches and the big rallies and then using tactics that are right out of Karl Rove's playbook. This is wrong, and every Democrat should be outraged. The Democratic Party in the United States worked since Harry Truman to get the Affordable Care Act passed. So shame on you, Barack Obama. It is time you ran a campaign consistent with your messages in public.
Hillary Clinton's attempt to tout her foreign policy experience hounded her again on the campaign trail today.
I made a mistake in describing it.
She claimed she misspoke last week and was sleep-deprived when she described landing under sniper fire in Tuzla, Bosnia, something that didn't happen. But CBS News has found several times in the past few months when Senator Clinton used the Bosnia trip to try to show her international experience. December in Iowa.
We landed in one of those corkscrew landings and ran out because they said there might be sniper fire. I don't remember anybody offering me tea on the tarmac when that was happening.
Then in February.
The welcoming ceremony had to be moved inside because of sniper fire.
And last week.
I remember landing under sniper fire. We basically were told to run to our cars. Now that is what happened.
Differing accounts of your trip to Bosnia, and I'm wondering if you can clarify. I know you recall, ducking under sniper fire, and Sinbad in his account, who was on the trip, he said that the most dangerous part was remembering where he was going to eat next.
He's a comedian, Jeff. He's a comedian.
So you actually recall, hearing gunfire, and were you
when we were flying into Bosnia, we came in a evasive maneuver. There was no greeting ceremony, and we basically were told to run to our cars. Now that is what happened.
After CBS News video showed what really happened when she landed and greeted officials, Senator Clinton maintained there were risks, but explained to the Philadelphia Daily News why she was seen on the Bosnian tarmac greeting a young child if it was really so dangerous.
I was also told that the greeting ceremony had been moved away from the tarmac, but that there was this 8-year-old girl, and I said, well, I can't rush by her. I've got to at least greet her. So I greeted her, I took her stuff, and I left. Now that's my memory of it.
Good to see you. Once again, her memory doesn't match our videotape. She and her daughter Chelsea lingered on the tarmac to greet U.S. military officials. Took photos. There was the group of 7th graders on the tarmac too. And then Senator Clinton walked to the armored vehicle where she did eventually dock and enter.
It was one of the highlights of President Clinton's first term, passage of the North American Free Trade Agreement, also known as NAFTA. Critics blame NAFTA for the loss of manufacturing jobs in industrial states, including Ohio and Pennsylvania. Hillary Clinton helped get NAFTA approved. She held at least 5 meetings to strategize about how to win congressional approval. She helped the White House block opposition from labor and environmental groups, and she was the featured speaker at a crucial meeting. Participants in that event said, quote, her remarks were totally pro-NAFTA. There was no equivocation for her support for NAFTA at the time.
I think that everybody is in favor of free and fair trade, and I think that NAFTA is proving its worth.
I think on balance, NAFTA has been good for New York and America.
Was NAFTA a mistake?
NAFTA was a mistake to the extent that it did not deliver on what we had hoped it would.
Your opponents are saying that that's really part of a larger pattern with you, that you often avoid taking firm positions on controversial issues.
I mean, if it doesn't scare you that this woman actually came this close to becoming our president, that doesn't scare you, then I don't know what else will, because that's a nightmare for me. What do you guys think about all this? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to be able to support the channel, please just click one of the links in the description below. Thank you to all the supporters that are already supporting. Your support is what's keeping Buddy List Social Network alive and what's keeping my channel running. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Please subscribe to our channel, like our video,